Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for May the 7th, 2018. It is a Monday, start of the week. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to go through the market, macro to micro, go through the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. Our hypotheses are our trade plans. We do create multiple. We create two main hypotheses, and then we wait to see what the market is going to do, who's taking control in the market, the buyers or the sellers. Then we execute the plan that best suits the market. We do not try to bend our plan or bend the market to our plan. And then we create two alternative hypotheses or trade plans that are for trend days. And we've been seeing a lot of the alternatives play out. In fact, we had Hypo 1 playing out in the market on Friday and then flipped over to the Hypo 4. And it even expanded way beyond what I thought it was going to do. I was looking for Hypo 4 to come up into the 57 area. And of course, we went all the way up into the 70s. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. We do everything here live in the go-to in the morning, and then we do live trading analysis during the course of the trading day for our members. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So, taking a look at yesterday, we were actually looking for a move down into this area, but they made the move between the time we did the session open, or the pre-market session, and when the market opened, we'd already moved down into this area. We were looking for a rotation down into the 2610 area. They didn't quite get there. They got down to the 2612.25, rotated up, closed out the naked VPOC, closed out the naked close, and then we got the move up into the 47 we were looking for Hypo 1. Then we just kept trending, and you can see that this is a very, very classic trend day, and we moved all the way up into the 69 area where that microcomposite VPOC was at, and basically went sideways. A little bit of a sell-off into the close as people were covering, and we closed right at 63.75. So very classic profile. We did leave a bunch of TPO singles below, but for the most part, we've seen this market continue its longer time frame trend up. So let's take a look at that. Each morning I like to start my day with a simple candlestick chart. Actually, before we do that, let's take a look at the news. 9 minutes, we've got European, nothing there. 10 o'clock, we've got CB employment trends. 11:30, we've got the 3-month and the 6-month bill auction. We've got ECB Premarket speaking at 12:30. Then we've got FOMC Barkin speaking at 2 o'clock. But for the most part, that is all the news today. Want to also take a look at the COT. Wanted to see if there was any change in the commitment of traders. There really isn't. The commercial paper has left the building. They are continuing to get more net short, but the large spec and the retail are still net long. In fact, they're getting more net long. So still nothing to tell me from the COT that there's any shot that the market is rolling over as of yet. So if we take a look at the macro chart, I use a simple candlestick chart. I use a 9 EMA, 20 SMA, and what I'm doing is I'm looking at the different periodicities, working my way from the month down, and I want to see where we are in terms of the trend. Do we have good slope and separation? Is price paralleling the 9 nicely? Or are we coming down and challenging the 9 and challenging the trend, or breaking the 9 and the 20 and violating the trend? And you can see on the monthly, trend is still very much intact. It looked like they are starting to lose some momentum, but we're holding above, and we're in April, and I'm sorry, we're in May, and we're still holding above the 9. So the trend is very much intact on the monthly. On the weekly, it's a little bit different story. We kind of rolled over, and we've been fighting, trying to get back above the 20 SMA, and we're banging on it, but we're not, unable to get above. So there's no real slope or separation to the downside yet, but we are struggling right now. We need to get above that 26.75.75, which is basically our high overnight, which is our year open, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. Going to the daily, you can see that we're in this consolidation, and we're back above the 9 and the 20 with the possible start of this upward trend after, looking like they were going to roll over on the daily. They'd come right back up. Going to the intraday, the 4-hour chart, you can see we're back above the 9 and the 20. We have a bit of a technical gap going on, but for the most part, we're getting some slope and separation for a continuation pattern up. And then last, going down to the 30-minute, you can see that we come up and we've challenged that year open at 26.75.75 and failed there, but we're basically going sideways and compressing coming into the RTH session. So taking a look at the structure, nothing's really changed. We went up and we put in a new all-time high. That all-time high is unequalized, meaning that we put a all-time high in the Globex at 28.83 and a quarter. Our all-time high in the RTH session, the regular trading hour sessions, is 28.80 and a quarter. It's very rare that you get that lasting as long as it has, unequalized, and one of the reasons why I still think that we've got some potential to move up. Then we tried to hold value up here at the 28.31 area, gap down, and then they came down, and they came all the way down into the 25.35. It was actually 25.29 in the Globex, and then since then we've come back up, and they tried to break out and failed, and since then we've just been chopping inside of this very large value area that runs from the 27.19 area down into the 25.90 area. And the most traded price continues to jump around. It was at 47, then it went to 69 area, then it went back to 47, and now it's popped back up. 57, and then it's popped back down to this 26.47 area again. And then the smaller time frame, the microcomposite VPOC, this profile right here that I started on this breakdown day, if I bring this to the front, you can see that that VPOC is in line with the longer time frame. And we've accepted that price again, and now we're moving up. And you can see that the value area high from this breakdown day of March 21st, the value area high is right there, just a couple ticks below the year open. So that is going to be our over underline today. If we can get up and break above that, I'm looking for that move back up into the 82 target, the 81.75, the high of this smaller range, and a push up into possibility of coming back up into the 2700s. And we do have the capability to test that 2700 based on the average true range right now. Key levels to keep an eye on, of course, is going to be that 47 and a quarter. If we don't hold it, look for them to push through down into the 40 and a quarter, and if that doesn't hold, back into the 33 to 28 area again. But I think the more likelihood is that we're going to chop around here and push through the year open and the value area high and push up into the 82. So let's take a look at our overnight session. You see that we opened the week and the Globex session. Our week open is 26.62 and a quarter. I'm going to mark that down on the chart. And the inventory is pretty much 100% net long in the overnight inventory. So look for a little bit of a balancing. We did have a nice Gaussian distribution with the VPOC just above where we're trading right now. It could shift back down to where it was earlier, down in the 69 area, but right now that's where it stands. So take our overnight and start moving our session over. First of all, I'm going to put the week open. The week open is 62 and a quarter. All right, and our overnight low, 61 and a quarter. Our overnight high is right at the year open and our over underline. Our 20 period daily ATR is running at 38 and a quarter, so off of the overnight low. Our upside daily ATR is at 26.9950, and off of the overnight high is 75. Our downside ATR is down here in the 37.50. We're going to be opening just outside of the range and value. I mean, we still have lots of time. They can come back down. But basically, my hypotheses are going to be pretty straightforward. I'm looking for an open auction out of range or just in range. I'm looking for a push down into the overnight low, the 61, and somewhere between the 61 and the 52.50. I'm looking for buyers to step in and start the move back up, come up into the year open, take out the overnight high, and then push up through to this 82 to 84 area with maybe a late day probe into the 90s. But I'm looking to close up here back in the 82 area. That is hypo 1. Hypo 2 is a open auction just in range or just out of range, a push up into the 75, take out the overnight low, but fail to hold the year open, rotate us down into the gap, close the gap, chop down here, and then push down into the naked VPOC and the month open down here. There's a lot of stuff going on here. We've got a TPO single down here, and that's the first one that we left from Friday. I'm looking for them to chop here and push through and get a late day probe down to test the TPO single down here at 39.75, but finding buyers and coming up and rotating and closing in the 47 to 52 area. That is hypo 2. Because we're going to be opening outside of range, outside of value as a possibility. We still, again, have 30 minutes to go, but I'm looking for hypo 3 to be a gap and go day, and open test drive, failure to get into the value area and close the gap, push right up into the 84 area, chop in the 84 to 82, get a push up further and come up and test into the 2700 with maybe a late day probe and a gap and go continuation trend day up into the 27 10 to 18 area, but closing somewhere in around the 2706.75. That is hypo 3. Hypo 4 is going to be a take back day, and a take back of this trend day, a open auction just in range or just out of range. Sellers take control, come down, close the gap, push through to the naked VPOC, chop here, fail, and push through the daily downside ATR target and come down into this 20 8 area with a possible late day probe down into the open of Friday, which was down in the 26.15 area before they find buyers and close somewhere down here in the 26 to 28. Those are my 4 main hypotheses for the ES. Taking a quick look at gold. And move my profile over, bring in the daily. So our 5-day is down here at the 1310. They came down and they tested the 1300 area, but they only got to the 1302.30 and they popped up right away. And we've pushed all the way up into that key level, okay, that we were watching for the breakdown. Now we're testing it from below overnight at 1319.90 and failed and have come back down. I'm looking for just a lot of chop today in gold, and I think you're going to see us rotate from the 19 down into the 06 area and just basically chop in here. Key levels to pay attention to, obviously the 19 and 90, 20 area. If we get above that, look for them to pop up back into that 22, 24 area. But if they fail to get above, look for them to rotate back down towards this 1310 and push down into the 1306. If they do break the 1304, this time I don't think that the 1300 will hold and will push through and get down into the 1200s again. Remember that the most traded price going all the way back to October of 2008 is still below us, and that's going to act as a magnet as it has been. And if we get below 1300, that's the destination, the next big target we're looking for below us. So let's get complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.